Hello, everyone. Welcome on YouTube. I got a question the other day, and the question was about who is wrong? Is it me or spirit if I get the information wrong? And so when we look at that and we look at the mechanics of mediumship and how we connect to the mediums to get on the same level as the spirit world to bring through information. Someone was asking me that they'd get the information, but is it normal for the spirit world to be off with the information? So let's say the spirit world are giving you dates. Is it normal that the spirit world would make the mistake in giving you the wrong date? Or is it wrong that the spirit world might give you the wrong name? Now, the truth of the matter is, it's not the spirit world that gets it wrong. It's normally us, the medium, that gets it wrong. So when you look at how it is and how it works, our mind sometimes tries to interpretate too quickly what the spirit world are giving us. So let's say if they're giving us a date, if we hear the date very clearly, then it has to be correct, right? If we hear it very faint and we sort of like, maybe it's that date, then our mind is interpreting it. And it's a fine line between it. It's a fine line between who's actually using the mind and to interpretate, or are you actually receiving what the spirit world is saying? So when you look at that and you look at also names, there's a lot of people that would like to get names from the spirit world, and they'll say, oh, they gave me the name of Pete, and then the person that you're communicating to doesn't understand the name of Pete. Then again, your mind probably jumped to a conclusion and tried to interpretate what the spirit world was saying. Because whenever you find yourself doing mediumship and you're trying to like stretch yourself too much, it's like, right, I really need to get a date now, or I really need to get a name now. When you do that, that's when you're actually pulling yourself out of the power, and that's the connection with the spirit world, into your mind, and then you're going to start getting it wrong. A good course of action is when you start asking questions like, you ask your sitter, would you understand the name Pete? Then it's your mind. Or would you understand the date April the 14th? Then your mind is confused about whether it's true, whether it's not true, right? So whenever you're asking questions, you know that your mind's coming in. That's a good course of indication that your mind's being used. So, but the spirit world really rarely get it wrong. If anyone's messing it up, we have to take our personal responsibility for it. It's the medium that messes it up. You see, because they can bring a date. If spirit world are going to bring through a date, they could bring it by showing you a calendar, and they can show you the date on a calendar in front of you. And then you can say, that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing this date. And then you could ask your sitter, I've got this date. I feel it's to do with either a passing or whatever. And in that way, you're bringing the information through a lot more confidently. Spirit may let you hear it, but if you say that you're clairaudient, then really everything that you hear has to be correct, because that means you're hearing like so clearly. If half of what you're hearing is wrong, then it's your mind interpreting what you're hearing, so that you're not hearing quite clearly. You're getting like, it's like you can hear the whisper of something and you're trying to make it into something more. So really what you want to be doing is going back to yourself and say, okay, am I hearing this correctly? And you just take the time to let spirit just give it to you strongly. Now, the reason that you would get things wrong would be, and that was the next question, would it be the blending that would have something to do with getting it wrong. So if I'm getting some of the spirit information wrong, did I not blend long enough? It's not about the length of blending, you see, because really what it's about, when you want to get accurate information, think about yourself as a radio. If you are attuning yourself to the spirit world, which is 107 FM, you'll get to that and say that's the spirit world. You'll be receiving it very, very clearly, right? But if you tune in at 106.5 and you're hearing it distorted, right, then you're not going to be receiving that information clearly. It's as simple as that. So what it's about is not how long do you blend with the spirit world, but how strongly you blend with the spirit world. So it's like, I say, sit in the power, but sit in the power and do the attunement exercises, which I have on this channel, which will help you attune to that frequency. So if you attune to the frequency of the spirit world, you're sitting with your own people, you're learning how it feels. It's remembering, how does it feel to attune at that 107 FM, which is connected to the spirit world. And if you know how that feels, then you get confident in knowing that you have a connection with the spirit world. But whenever you start asking questions, you know you've lost your connection. You might be just a little bit out of frequency and you're not quite getting it correctly. So if you're liking what I'm doing, please give me a like. Feel free to subscribe to my channel if you'd like to follow me more and support me in the work that I do. It's very good to have people supporting me in doing this, to help more mediums know how their mediumship works. So that second part, it's like they say, is it me not blending correctly? Like, we can ask spirit world to come in very close, and we can try and get very close to spirit. But what we want is to recognize the strength that spirit is close. And you may, in the beginning of your mediumship, feel it very, very, very strongly. But as your mediumship progresses, you may not feel it as strong as you used to. But it's becoming aware of how it feels anyway. So I've done some lovely demonstrations in the past where I haven't felt the spirit world as strong as I'd like to feel them, but I've listened to the spirit world very carefully and just relayed the soft feelings I was feeling. Every single bit was correct. And it's just not getting used to, it's getting used to knowing when you're in connection with the spirit world. And basically, a good form of practice is, whether you're sitting in circle and it's your turn to practice, every time you stand up for spirit, believe all the information's coming from the spirit world and give it, and then check to see how much of it is. Now, in the beginning, you have to remember 75% is going to be from the spirit world and 25% is going to be your own mind and imagination. Now, the spirit world need your imagination because they need to be using that part of the mind. So a good imagination is a good thing. As you progress, that imagination and own mind will get less, where more of the information will be correct, what you're receiving from the spirit world. And that's a progression in the development of your mediumship. So a good tip to do is, if you're having this problem where you're getting sometimes you get the names right, sometimes you get the dates right, sometimes you get them wrong. It's not the spirit world. They're not playing with you. They're not giving you the wrong information. That's not what the spirit world do. It's just you're not receiving it the way that the spirit world are communicating to you. And so you've got to remember to look at your mediumship and know your mediumship. If you receive it through pictures, then receive it through pictures. I mean, some people receive names through pictures. Like, if I see the name Frank Sinatra, there must be a Frank in the spirit world, right? And there may also be a connection to America. That's possible, right? Or there may be a Frank, and they may have liked that music. That's possible that it comes in the form of something. It's like, also, like Jacob's cream crackers, it could mean that Jacob's is the second name, or it might be Jacob, the name. So in pictures, you can receive names. You can also receive the names via your hearing, but also via feelings, that you feel, oh, I feel a name, Tom, and in that way, it can come through different ways. And it's just knowing your mediumship. They may be trying to bring it through pictures. They may be able to try to bring it through your feelings. They may be trying to bring it through your knowing, and they may be trying to bring it through your hearing. This video will be available for you to watch when you get home. A nice question. Thank you for writing. But yeah, so these things are live. I like to do these things live because I could just spend hours making these videos, but at the end of the day, I just want to give good information to you guys. That's what this channel's about, so that you can receive the good information, so that you can move on, learn, and progress within your mediumship. This is my service that I like to give on my YouTube channel. So if you like what I'm doing, please give me a like. If you'd like to attune to my channel, if you attune to my channel, you'll receive spirit messages. No, I mean, I can't even get the words out at the moment. So this must be spirit having fun with me. But you see, so whenever you get it wrong, it's like, it's not because you're doing it wrong. It could be because you're trying too hard. A lot of people really want to get the best information, get the names, get the dates, and they stress themselves out. And because they stress themselves out, it makes it difficult for them to receive the information. And if you can relax into it more, and then feel into it more, you may find that the more relaxed you are, the more information that you can receive. And try to practice that whenever you're sitting for someone and you're bringing through the information, 100% of what is being used, whether it's your mind, imagination, spirit world, whatever's coming through, just give 100% of what you're giving, and believe that it's from the spirit world. And when you check it, you may find that you can find how much percent is correct and how much isn't, and you learn from your mistakes, and that's how you learn mediumship. So to cure this, I would say sit in the power every day, and if you can, do it for as long as possible, at least 21 days. That will raise your frequency. So sitting in the power 21 days, I'd say sit also with the attunement. There's a video I made about that here as well. The attunement to the spirit world, and that is sitting in the connection with spirit. If you did that for 21 days, I know that this would change. I know that this would make a big difference within your mediumship. And it's learning to remember what is the strongest connection you have with the spirit world. And if you do that, this will start to remedy getting it wrong, and taking the stress out of it, because sometimes people can be so serious, like, I need the name, I need the date, I need that. But I mean, if you've given 10 dates and they've said no to all 10 of them, there's no point giving another date. It's better to just relax into it and see, what is spirit wanting to give here. What do they want to give us? And they may want to give you different information that really they'd like you to work with. So that's something to remember. And the same with names. I mean, I hear a lot of mediums giving a lot of names, and if they're right, then okay, good, that you're doing fine. But I mean, if you get 3 of them wrong, there's no point giving a 4th name to. It's just say, I know spirit's trying to communicate, and wait a little bit longer for the name to resonate within your body, that you can feel, does it feel correct? Does it feel correct what spirit's giving me? And so you're not analyzing it with the mind, you're feeling it coming in. So I hope this helps you within your mediumship. I hope this helps you within your development, and feel free to subscribe to my channel. And I look forward to hearing with any more questions that you have about your mediumship. But believe me, Spirit are rarely wrong. The main thing is, if there's anything wrong, it's the medium getting it wrong. So they say, oh, Spirit are giving me this incorrectly, or they're pointing the finger to someone else. It's the medium getting it wrong. So if anything gets wrong within the mediumship, it's certainly the medium. And it's easy to move on from that, because sometimes people can get stressed, like, oh, I got it wrong. Just say to the people, I'm sorry, I got that wrong. It's okay. And then you release yourself from what went wrong, and then you can move on with different information, which is a lot easier to bring through. So I want to thank you all for listening. And if you've got any more questions about mediumship, please don't forget to write in the comments. Feel free to like my video, and let me know if you'd like me to do any videos on any other questions that you've got. So I wish you a fantastic evening, and look forward to seeing you again soon.